Hello and welcome again in SAP Growth Podcast powered by ZaranTech. So today I'm not gonna say much about the guest because the guest itself has a lot of features to tell about. So I'm really gonna give a short introduction, but not so short for you all. So we welcome our guest Vishal Jain, accomplished SAP Technology, cloud and application architect over 14 years of extensive experience. Vishal's journey exemplifies a seamless transition from an SAP Basis consultant to cloud and application architect, showcasing his adaptability and expertise in navigating the evolving landscape of enterprise technology. With a rich background in various industry verticals, including retail, real estate, banking, and many more, Vishal has successfully led numerous SAP implementation, conversion, migrations to cloud, the digital transformation upgrades, and support initiatives. His holistic approach to systems architecture design, integration solution, and cloud adaptation strategies have earned him recognition over delivering valuable insights with the organization goals. Stay tuned as we share Vishal with you all from his point of view of knowledge, insights, and challenges to have a future outlook towards SAP and cloud technologies. So, without any further ado, let's hear it from Vishal directly. Hello, Vishal.
Hey, hi Ritoma. Good afternoon.
Hi. Hi.
How are you
How
doing?
are you? I'm great.
I'm
I'm
great.
great. I'm very happy that we are doing this podcast today. I'm very,
Yes,
very
I'm
happy.
also happy to be on your show.
That absolutely, absolutely. It was my pleasure getting in touch and we discussed the podcast and we finally are here. So how's the weather in Dubai and how are you feeling about this podcast right now?
Weather today it's cloudy. Generally it's sunny. Dubai is famous for its sand and sun. But today it's a cloudy weather. Maybe weather has changed for our podcast. So I'm hoping to have a good podcast today with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Vishal, I have to tell you that there is so many things you've done in this 14 years of span. I kind of like need another episode to do navigate through those things. So today we are going to start off with the basics of and learning and what you have learned throughout your years. So we will talk about it today. All right. So
Surely.
let's start with the questions then.
Sure. I'm up for it.
Perfect, perfect. So, we'll go around like, can you share your journey from being an SAP Basics consultant to becoming a cloud application architect? Let's
Yeah,
start from
definitely.
there.
Definitely. So I started 14 years ago as a SAP Basis consultant. That time I used to do like normal user creation or SAP system monitoring or very basic things. As the time evolved and I keep getting the opportunities, I started learning more about how SAP system work in a overall scenario, from the infrastructure angle, from the application angle, from the network angle, and as I keep getting the more insight. I was also got opportunity to work on numerous migration and upgrade projects. There I started learning, even getting deep insight into the overall landscape. And that time industry was also shifting towards a big massive change. Like it was around 2013-14, I would say, when SAP was going through big transformation. It was transitioning itself to HANA, and overall IT was transitioning itself to cloud. And I recognized the shift, and I started getting myself into cloud, into HANA. And it led me to transition myself into application and cloud architect. Then I got opportunities where I explored and migrated SAP systems to cloud. And that I got my skill mature along with Azure and Amazon. They also matured. So we all grown to a good level where we have where I learned SAP architecture and migration to cloud. And now after these many years, I think I'm still learning, and this learning is never ending, I believe.
Right, right. So, Vishal, what are the most pivotal moments in your career transition that you have seen, and how did you navigate them? Like, if you can tell us a little bit about.
Sure, sure. So if you talk about pivotal moment, as I was telling, to recognize the industry shift, when in 2013 and 14, I got hold of the shift to cloud and shifting to SAP product, shifting to HANA, and that HANA got matured to S4 HANA, and now it's a full blown product, and also catching the industry trend, and also never being afraid to taking up a new role. I think that would say a biggest pivotal moment, because I have taken so many risks in my career. Like, I would say I'm a risky person, to be honest. Uh,
That's
People
amazing.
always dream to go to USA, Canada, or Europe for on-site. Would you believe my first on-site was in Saudi Arabia, in the desert? So and people were, when I first went to Saudi Arabia in 2014, people were saying, it's a desert, what you will do there? It's like so many things. I thought, okay, I want to take this risk. And I would say, and after that day there was a no looking back. So I would say, if you are getting a right role and right opportunity, and no matter what corner of the world, you should grab it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now I'll go to the challenges and learning side. So could you highlight some of your significant challenges that you've encountered throughout your career, and what are the key learnings you have derived from your experience?
Sure. So, challenges in terms of, while building a complex SAP landscape or SAP architecture, I would say, uh, you need to make sure you take all the parties into consideration, because SAP is not a standalone system. It's a very complex and very connected system. So you need to make sure all the pillars are intact. Second thing I would say is integrations. Integration is always a key challenge in any SAP landscape, I would say. If you integrate your system well, it would give you a good result. If it's not well integrated, integrations are not properly designed or broken, then you will face a lot of challenges in later. Second biggest challenge, I would say, for me, is unlearning the things, because learning is always easy, but unlearning is difficult, because I started with R3 and ECC, then shifting to HANA, and from on-premise to cloud. We when I design a system on cloud, initial days, what used to happen, we always think from that perspective, on-premise or perspective only, but it doesn't work always that way. So
Right.
initial days, the biggest challenge was to unlearn what we learned in many years, but I learned it in a hard way. So every landscape is different, every customer is different, and you need to think from a customer point of view. And I have, in my 14 years of career, like around 2 or 3 years I was at the customer side also. So now I know both side of the story. So I
Oh,
think
okay.
that was one of the biggest challenge to overcome, and I think I successfully overcome in these many years. And one more challenge is, I would say, is, the technological shift in last couple of years is like massive. It's massive.
Yeah.
Like, so many things are coming: S4 HANA, your Leonardo, BTP, your cloud platform, AI, ML, IoT, and whatnot. So
Yeah.
keeping up with all those technologies, updated yourself, it's also a big challenge.
But it's a fun challenge.
Yeah, it's a definitely fun, and I would say, if you are dedicated enough, or I would say stubborn. I think it's a wrong word, but if you are stubborn in learning, or if you have good will to learn, then definitely you can overcome these challenges, to be a top of the curve.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've seen so many experts. Even recently, I've did an interview with Mr. Paul Bryan. He also said that open-mindedness in learning new things is a big factor they see in an employee. They look for in an employee, that the open-mindedness to learn new versions, new things in SAP world or in a workday, anything. So that is
Definitely, definitely.
that is
I,
something
I
very.
I always say, technology anyone can learn. Any even you want, or I want, anyone can put some effort, 1 day, 2 day, 5 day, 1 month, 6 months, then you can learn technology. But attitude is what you have to earn. If you have willingness to learn something, definitely anyone can do.
Absolutely. So I'll jump into the next question then. In
Sure.
your opinion, why is well-designed system architecture crucial for SAP implementation?
Definitely, a well-designed architecture is crucial not only for SAP but any IT implementation. And forget about IT, even for a building. Let's talk about a normal building. If your architecture is not well designed, what will happen? Either your building will collapse or will you will have a lot of issues. So I
Right.
would say, it's a base, it's a foundation. So if you design your system well, if you have your architecture is your foundation. If your foundation is well, it would be. I would give you an example. Everybody knows that Burj Khalifa is 850 meters tall, but does anyone know that it is 160 170 feet down also in below the ground? So if
Wow, I
if
didn't know that.
this 160 feet is what holding that 850 meters, so same goes on the your architecture also, system architecture also. The well you design your foundation, the well your system is going to be perform or your deliver your business values. So I always believe there are 6 or 7 pillars of your well designed architect. If you adhere to all those pillars, definitely your business value will be immense in coming years.
Absolutely. So what are the most best practices and consideration for designing a scalable, resilient, and high-performance SAP systems?
Definitely, this question is very close to my heart, and I think I would take a long time to respond this. To be
Sure.
honest,
Sure.
okay.
Take your time. No
So
problem.
so I think first and foremost is scalability and flexibility. Your SAP system should be scalable and flexible, or any IT system. Scalability, today you might have 100 users or 1,000 users, but tomorrow you don't know. Like we have all seen Amazon growing from 100 or 1,000 orders per day to million order per day. Okay, so what plays an important role is scalability. How scalable is your system to fulfill your customer need? And flexibility, this is the biggest. And cloud plays a very pivotal role here, or very important role to design the flexibility. In an on-premise system, flexibility comes at a cost, but if we talk about cloud, it's a part and parcel of the cloud. You get your scalability as the main benefit of your cloud system.
Right.
Second pillar I would say is your integrations. You should design your integration in such a way that it delivers the business value, or those integration. I would give a simple example of an integration, like two villages are connected by a bridge. Okay, if one day that bridge is broken, what will happen? All trades will be closed, or all your vehicle people cannot go from one city to other city. Simple. Same way, if your integrations are broken, then what will happen? Your data, your incoming data cannot, you cannot receive the data, you cannot send the data. And your all your integration has to be designed in a such secure way also. Like, if your data gets breached or something, then it's just a big challenge. That's why integration plays again an important role. Third pillar
Absolutely.
is performance and reliability, I would say. So, like, suppose a person is taking out a report, and they keep waiting in front of system 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And what think from an end user perspective, what will happen? It will cause a frustration, I think.
Right.
So your system should be highly performant. Like, after introduction of HANA or S4 HANA, I think this problem has been solved a lot. But
Right.
still we are seeing not many customers are shifted to HANA or S4 HANA. Still, I think I would say 50% customer has yet to be migrated. So this is one important factor where your system needs to be highly performance and reliable, performance oriented. Another
Okay.
factor I would say is your system should be secure and compliant. That's one of the most important thing. One of the most, because what we are storing in SAP is confidential data, like your personal information. In banking, they are storing card details, all those. In my initial career days, I used to take, okay, yeah, security is fine. But when I joined a project with Emirates NBD Bank in Dubai, so they are one of the biggest bank in UAE. I started giving too much respect and too much importance to security. Like, I keep the security at number one, because when I see we are storing your card details, and then your all other private information of cards in the system, then I always think, what will happen if this data gets breached, if your data is not secure, not encrypted, and not compliant. So Now after that day, whenever I design a system, I always keep that mind, yeah, we are storing card detail. Even if we are not storing, I always think from that perspective. Now my mindset has gone to that level after working. So security is one of the big pillar.
Right.
Again, one more pillar is cost optimization, but I would keep it as a least priority, because I I would try to do a cost optimization, but not at the cost of performance, reliability, or security. I
Yeah.
will give you an example. I used to work with a customer in Bombay, they are one of the biggest reseller for Amazon.
Okay.
So they came to us for some system evaluation or system audit. So we did the audit, and we highlight so many problems. SAP system, production system, used to go down 3 times a day, and performance was terribly bad. And what they used to say, oh, we are fine, we are not using SAP system much, it's okay, because we are saving good amount. Okay. Fast forward 6 months, their business growth was halted because the system was not ready for the expansion. Like their system was not able to handle the, as I mentioned, Amazon has gone, their order, number of orders increases exponentially, but they were not ready to deliver. And they came back to us, and they admitting their mistake. No, Vishal, we were right. You were right that our system has to be performance oriented, reliable. And we redid their SAP project, and now they are happy, and they recently came up with an IPO also. So now they are very big name in the Indian retail giants.
Wow.
So these are the some of the pillars. And one more thing I would say is, you choose the technology which is trending, or which is which can give value. Sometimes we just choose technology for the sake of just looking at some feature, but I think that should not be the way. You should think, after your partner leaves, who will manage the technology, or is it manageable, or all those, like how the supportability or maintainability will work in a longer run. So if you keep all these aspects in mind, I believe you can design a very well designed SAP architecture, or I would say any IT system architecture.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Vishal, as you mentioned about integration challenges, so let's go to the questions related to that. What are the
Sure.
some most common integration challenges you have faced during the SAP system integration, and how did you address them? Like, how did you find out about them? If you can tell.
Sure. Integration is one of the big piece in SAP. So uh, challenges, I would say, middleware complexity, because all the SAP integrations, mostly they are done through a middleware, which is be it XI, PI, or CPI. Okay, so this is the one, choosing the right middleware for your landscape. Depending, like a retail customer might have 1,000 integration, whereas a real estate customer might have only 10 integration. So it's not like one shoe fit for all. So it
Right,
based on your industry, based on your number of integrations, what kind of
right,
product you are integrating with. This is a complex things to choose, and it all comes from experience. One of the big
absolutely.
challenge I have seen is skill set gap. So what happens is, in integration, people take very lightly this integration area in SAP. What the thing, okay, basis people can do the integration, or maybe ABAP people can do, or a function person can do the integration. But I think that's a wrong perspective. You need proper XI, or CPI consultant who knows the integration area very well. And
Right,
that's where I always feel, we need the right people, trained people, or if they're not trained, we need the right kind of training for those people to have a right people. This is the biggest challenge I've seen, a skill gap in the integration area specifically. And
absolutely.
sometimes
Yeah,
we face challenges with data synchronization, and not correct data is coming, or all those challenges generally I face. To address them, as I mentioned, depending on the requirements, choose the right integration methodology. Try to keep your integration simple, not very complex. If there are standard APIs available, just use them. If it's not available, do it via CPI, or whatever best possible way is available. Second way is always secure your integration, because data is transiting between one system to another system.
right,
Simple. I will give you an example. When the data is in transit, there's the highest possibility of data gets breached. So when a money truck is going from reserve bank to HDFC Bank or SBI, so which is the best way to loot that the truck full of money? It's on the way. You cannot breach the security at reserve bank. You cannot the security at the bank. So on the way, there's a highest chance that you can breach the security and loot the truck. Same applies to SAP or integrations also. So when data is in transit, there's a high chance that people can hack your system or breach the data. So always try to encrypt all your communication with TLS or SSL secure them. uh, and try to understand, try to understand what kind of files required for your integration, if it's a flat file integration or what kind of integration. If you understand those things very well, I would say you can make your integrations properly, you can design it properly. And the last thing which I said is skill gap. I think that's most important thing. Never ignore a qualified integration consultant in your project. Don't be dependent on this person will do the work. It never happens.
Right. So, as you also mentioned about the cloud, what are the key benefits as an organization can expect from migrating SAP system to cloud nowadays? So, as I can see that lot of experts are saying that key shift to cloud. One tip is start shifting to cloud as soon as possible. And how do these benefits such as scalability reduced to TCO impact overall business operation? Like, if you can tell me that.
Definitely, there are numerous benefits of cloud. Like you can keep going about it since morning to evening. There is no end. But there's
Yeah,
there's no end. So as you know, one of my example I was telling is scalability. So if you
right.
need to scale, if you need to scale your current infrastructure to go from your customer 100 to million, on
Mhm.
cloud you can do it overnight, or you can do it on the fly. But for an on-premise landscape, it's not possible. You need to
Right.
procure the hardware, you need to keep it in data centers, install it. It takes days. And this is one of the biggest feature of the cloud, scalability. Second is, your go to market time reduced. So now, as I mentioned, it is an innovation era. Like, you cannot be behind in the innovation. Suppose you want to try out a new product. So for you, what
Yeah.
you'll do, you buy a hardware, get the consultant, install the software, then try. It will take, I will take my example. When I started my career in 2010, okay, it used to take us around, 1.5 month to build one SAP system. I'm not lying. We need to get hardware, install operating system. To be For operating system, we need to be dependent on the OS consultant, then networking. So many things were there. In today's era, none of them are required. You just go to Amazon or AWS or Azure, you go deploy your VM, and even SAP pre-installed systems are available on SAP cloud. Or you just it's just one shift of button, your system is ready. What you need to start configuring your business processes. So it's so fast. So your time to market is reduced a lot. So this is one of the biggest, most business centric benefit, I would say. Other benefits mostly are IT centric, but this is the business centric benefit, I would say, that which we get from the cloud. Then your enhanced security. As I keep talking about the security, if you are an on-premise customer, how much you can secure, how much you can do investment on your security, a limited investment you can do. You cannot upgrade your firewalls daily, you cannot upgrade your systems daily. But on cloud they do it on periodically, like every monthly, quarterly, or they have schedules, or any new vulnerability come, they keep fixing those. So that's the biggest benefit. Your security is, but again, uh, like as security comes with the cost, as I told you. Now, and also there are few more benefits. One is your disaster recovery. Like earlier, when we used to set up a disaster recovery system, what used to happen? You need to have a physical server on another site. You keep paying. Even disaster recovery, when we use only when your primary site is down, on your primary systems are down.
Right.
What happened in an on-premise landscape? You have to keep paying even though we are not using it. We just use it for one day, just for a disaster recovery drill or something. But
Right.
in cloud, you can have it. You don't need to pay. You just pay it the day you start it, and you sleep. One of the cost benefit is TCO. TCO is subjective, basically. I would not always say you would gain a cost benefit moving to cloud. But yeah, definitely, if you use it properly, you will design it properly, architect it properly, you are going to save on cloud for sure.
Right.
Like,
Right.
this is what I would say. And also, one more thing is, you can better utilize your IT resources. Now your IT resources were busy handling the servers, managing your firewall networks. Now you don't they don't have to do all those things. So you can use them for better work. You can use them to assist your end users, or you can use them for better business innovation, or improvement in overall IT governance, or overall IT performance. So I think
Right.
these are the some of the benefits which comes of cloud, and
Mhm.
there are numerous we can talk about, but I think this is good enough.
For today, it is good enough. Absolutely. So we will give more chance to this audience, for the audience to know more about the cloud integration. So now tell me, what are some biggest challenges associated in adopting cloud now? Like you have said the good part about adopting cloud. Now, what are the challenges that are associated with adopting cloud for SAP, and how can organizations can overcome them?
Definitely. So, biggest challenge I would say migration complexity. So, when you have to migrate your SAP landscape from one place to another place, it's a complex system. It's same like shifting your house. You are shifting your house from Pune to Bangalore. Then it's not easy. Like there are chances there's a vessel which you brought from Italy for $500. It might get broke. So same happens
Right.
while
Anything
same
can
happens.
happen.
Yeah, it happens. So you need to choose the right partner, right people, while planning your cloud migration. Okay, otherwise if you choose some local vendor, what they will do, they will put everything in the box, load the box in truck, and they will throw at your new house, and you will go mad unpacking them. So same goes same goes with the cloud migration also. You
Right.
choose right partner, right technology, right people. Okay, and design your migration strategies well, and don't take all garbage. That's also a big mistake people do while migrating to cloud. So while shifting to new house, what you will do, we think, okay, these are not required, these clothes are old, this garbage is old, we don't need it anymore, so don't carry it. As simple as that. So
Right.
while migrate, that's why every new customer, like 90% or 80% customer now planning to move blue field approach. They are not either green field or blue field. They are not even choosing the brown field, because in brown field what we do, we migrate everything. We take the garbage also, but you don't need to take the garbage. You keep the
Right.
garbage behind and take only the valuables. As simple as that. So
And the
this
fresh
is,
ones.
yeah. Always. It
Yeah.
it's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. So always start
Absolutely.
properly. So
Right.
migration complexity second, I would say, is there are some security challenges. I would say, it always security challenges in terms of, like every country has their own compliance, like GDPR compliance or HIPAA compliance, or all USA have their FDA related compliance. So what you need to do is you need to go to a reputed cloud provider. Like in market there are hundreds of cloud providers, and what customers do, just looking at the cost, they choose any cloud provider. That should not be the case. You should do a proper due diligence whether this cloud provider is fulfilling all your compliance requirements. Okay, because
Right.
as I told you, security is supreme. You need to keep that on top priority.
Right.
One more complexity I would see is, or one more challenge I would see is, some hidden cost. Sometime what we do, we just go to a AWS or Azure pricing calculator and just do some kind of calculation. Okay, when you actually get your first bill, you'll get a shock. Like, I estimated 100 rupees or $100, and the bill is coming $180. So there are many hidden costs, like networking cost, your public IP cost, your data transfer cost, and so many things are there. So while doing your TCO calculation, you need to calculate it very properly. You need to do it with a qualified consultant. It's not like you are doing for on-premise. So if you do it properly and with a qualified consultant, you can definitely mitigate those risks or challenges. So there are challenges, but as I mentioned, if you do it properly with the right and qualified people, trained people, definitely those challenges can be mitigated. Because what I would say is, the benefits are much more bigger than the challenges. So if you plan it properly, you can definitely reap the benefits of cloud.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for answering this question, Vishal. So now I'll go to the next question, as I'm learning more and I want to know more. Can you please overall elaborate on the crucial skills and certification that are required? in a successful career as an cloud consultant or an architect?
Learning. There's only three things. There's only three things, which is learning. Keep learning. There is no alternate to it. I'm telling you, there is no alternate. So
Right.
I would say certification and all. They give a weightage to your profile, but I would any day I would prefer a well experienced hands-on experienced consultant over a certified consultant, definitely.
Right.
So
Right.
okay, definitely. So I would suggest few biggest thing to be successful cloud architect or successful SAP architect. First thing, keep your mind open. Don't be afraid to try out on new technologies. Okay,
Right. Right.
but always be cautious. Don't go big bang. Okay, suppose you wanted to try a new application, but on the day one, don't go with your entire landscape. Try out a small portion, okay, or try out with POC, small 10 users, 100 users, see the benefits. Okay, make a business case out of those benefits, then you start implementing those. Then I think you will be successful. Because I'm telling you from my mistake. I have done this mistake and I have learned this hard way. And there were one project where we went big bang, and we faced a lot of challenges, and I still when I remind those days, I feel what we have done. So definitely this one point I would say is, keep trying on new technologies, but always be cautious what technology is right and what not.
So Vishal, can you please share me, like, what are the perspective on the future of SAP, especially considering the increased role of cloud technologies, and how do you anticipate SAP landscapes evolving in coming years?
Definitely. So, as we are seeing, the SAP landscape already evolved very rapidly in last 5 6 years, and it's going to be go on the same pace, or even on a higher pace. So,
Right.
with the introduction of AI, ML, predictive analysis, these are the technology which are going to define the future for SAP. Okay,
Right.
now everybody's talking about automation. You're automating your day-to-day tasks, like your reporting or your manual purchase order punching. All those things are being automated. So automation. Second thing is AI. Responsible use of AI, I would say. It's not like you just configure the AI and keep it open. But no, you need to have a human check on whatever AI innovations you are doing with SAP, because humans are the one who designed the AI. It's not the otherwise. So I would always believe in a responsible use of AI. then
Yeah.
then IoT is one of the key change maker, or which can play a pivotal role in many industries, like oil and gas industries, or your water industries, or whatever manufacturing industries. I would give you an example. How IoT can change in real life. I was working on a project for one of the US federal municipal corporation, where they work on water supply. So what
Okay.
used to happen is, whenever there is a water leakage, what this guy used to do, like they used to find out area till where water is coming properly, and till where water is not reaching. Suppose they found out a 100-meter area, they have to dig the entire 100-meter pipeline, and they need to find out a leakage, and they have to fix it. Think in a city like New York, how big problem it will be to dig the roads, and or make a water pipeline maintenance work. What IoT can do, what they do now, what they did is they installed a IoT sensor every 5 meter. Okay, which
Right.
which sends your water flow in every 30 seconds and send the data to the cloud. What cloud do? It churns the data, and wherever it sees the abnormality, okay, water flow is, let's say it should be 50. Whenever see, okay, 5 or 10% variation, it's okay. If it goes beyond that, it raise a flag. Immediately the people get to know there is some problem in that area. Which sensor? They exactly know the location of sensor. They go directly that place, they dig, they find out the problem, and they fix it. They don't need to
Right.
dig 100 meters. They just pinpoint place, they go and they fix it. So this is how technology can change our life. So IoT is one of the this is one of the use case I told you. There are hundred such use cases in
Absolutely.
every field, in every technology. So I think these are some of the technologies which going to shape SAP's future. I definitely S4HANA is one of them, but I think S4HANA is already there, and it's going to be there. It's going to be there, and there is no much choice left with customer, to but to go on S4HANA cloud.
Right, right. So, coming to the last question of this podcast today. So, as we wrap up, could you please share your final insights and advice to our listeners, especially those who are looking to embark on their career path similar to yours? And can you tell the audience how they can connect with you and learn more about your work?
Sure, definitely. So, a final message from my side is, always, whenever you're working on SAP system, try to go as deep as you can. Try to understand how the entire system works, how the business process work. Try to understand, why our my business is using SAP. 90% people fail to understand this. What they do, they think SAP is a IT system, but not. It's a business system. Why we are having SAP? For business benefit. So we need to think from business perspective, why we can, how we can improve our business processes to get the maximum benefit out of it. Second thing I would ask them, my viewers, uh, you know try to learn the cloud technologies or emerging technologies. In Take out some time in your day to life. I always hear complaint from people, we work 10 hours, 12 hours. It's always, you do for a company, you get paid for it, but what you are doing for personal development,
Right,
just take out 30 minutes of your daily time, or even 30 minutes weekly. Even if you take out, it's a 2 hours per day, it's 24 hours a year. Okay. so
yeah,
so it's if you are able to take out this much time for a personal development, learn new technologies, definitely you will be ahead of 70% people, because not everyone think in that way. And
correct.
last but not least, I would say is, try to have some certifications in your portfolio, and always try to do some hands-on, like, have your get your hands dirty. What I always used to do, I have my own Azure, like, when I started learning, what I used to do, I bought a Azure subscription on my own credit card. Whenever I want to try some new technology, I go there, I deploy that technology myself, play around it, get my hands dirty. Don't afraid to get your hands dirty. That's the mantra for success, I would say.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Vishal, with that ending note, I have to say that it was a lovely podcast with you. I've done like so many podcasts, but it's one of the most nicest podcasts, and a lot of information I've got from you. And I hope the audience of SAP Growth Podcast would also like this episode a lot. We will be coming back with you on different more episodes on cloud-based technologies uh, and a lot of other topics whichever you want to talk about. So thank you so much for your time, and your energy was perfect, and thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Ritama. Like, no, it was absolutely honored to record this podcast with you, and definitely, I would love to come again on this show and talk more about new technologies, or whatever our audience want to know
Yeah,
more about. Thank you.
perfect,
Thanks. Have a good
perfect.
day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye
Have a
bye.
nice day. Bye bye.